No Money But Dreams podcast is for those millennial dreamers
who try to be in the top 1%.
It doesn't matter what we've achieved.
We wake up every morning with the mindset that we're still broke.
We welcome you on our journey in search of that home run.
Which can change everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of No Money But Dreams podcast. Today we have an exciting topic and an exciting announcement for you guys. Today the episode is called Excuses. Now Tarek, you're full of a lot of excuses, I hear.
I definitely got my fair share of excuses, and we got to put them on the table today because enough is enough.
The only way I think that anyone is going to grow, and we're going to grow, and almost the reason why we created this podcast is to be completely transparent, to face all our demons, and essentially to put all the excuses on the table. Because there is no way that you are going to achieve something great to the level that we want to achieve if you keep having way too many excuses.
Yeah. I mean, I firmly believe that if you're not in good physical condition, you're not going to achieve anything.
Yeah, peak performance, not only in the mind, but physically is paramount to being able to be the best at what you do in anything. And that doesn't just mean to be a sports star. But even if you look at all the great CEOs and founders of so many companies, they're in the right headspace because they take the time to take care of their physical being, their body.
Yeah. And I just turned 35. I'm getting closer to 40 now.
You're basically a typical dad bod. You have 2 kids, a gut.
Yep.
You love having sweets on the weekend and eating chocolates.
Not just on the weekend.
Every single day.
I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. I watch Netflix and I'll have sweets.
And many people at 35 have their midlife crisis. Do you want to have a crisis?
No, don't want to go down that route.
So,
we've gone a little bit into some of my excuses. Procrastination is another one.
I think procrastination is a massive excuse that both of us are guilty of, and something I really want to work on, not only towards the end of this year, but definitely for 2022.
What are some of your excuses?
I think some of my excuses are that I go to the gym, but I don't really put 120% every single time I go. It's kind of become a habit, and I kind of just like tick over.
Well, you make yourself feel good.
I make myself feel good, but I think it's an excuse that I've been going to the gym this long and this often, and I don't have a 6-pack. Or am I in complete peak physical shape?
Yep. I work out myself, right? I do 3-4 times a week, but the workouts are not as intense as they should be.
Yeah.
And I work out to kind of like make myself feel good that I'm working out.
But wait a minute, hold on. There's been numerous occasions since I've known you when you've told me, that's it, it's up, I'm going to get a 6-pack this time. But...
Yeah, I think everyone listening that knows me knows that I've tried a few times. We go back to the same story that I keep telling everyone that meets me. I used to be a basketball player.
Yep.
Right? And I used to be in pretty good shape until I was 22, 23. By 25, I definitely had lost my 6-pack. And so it's been 10 years.
Oh, wow.
10 years.
A
decade of kind of mediocre performance and not in the top 1% of physical performance. Because not everyone has a 6-pack. Not everyone gets to that kind of level.
And you can't pay for it.
You can't pay for it.
You got to earn it.
Exactly.
And I think that's what's so appealing about it. And I feel that, I'm really trying as much as I can in anything in my life to try and be the best.
You never had one, right?
I've never, ever had one, no. I was the fat kid because I was actually a vegetarian. So I just loaded up on those carbs when I was little.
Oh, man, carbs, man. Don't get me started. I love carbs.
Back in the day when we were little, you go to at recess or lunchtime, you're going to play football, right? And you have the older kids choosing the team, and obviously when you're the younger, you're the runt. But when you're the younger runt and also fat, it's like, fine, I'll take the fat kid. And my whole life I dealt with that, and I've been up and down losing weight. The first time I made a really conscious effort to lose weight was around maybe like 12 years old or something like that. But then I would gain it, 15, same thing. Just yo-yoing, 18, 19. Then in my 20s, I lost a bit, gained it. But I made a commitment to myself at the beginning of this year that I would get under a certain weight, which I have been doing. But that's not enough. I really want to make next year, I want to prove to myself that I can do it. You know what I mean? So, and we were discussing this, and I was saying, let's get a trainer. What was your response?
Excuses.
Yeah, that's an excuse. And you're damn right. Why the hell can't you do it yourself? You don't have the self-control. You don't have the self-motivation. You don't have the Goggins inside of you.
I mean, the thing is, we all know what we need to do to achieve it, right?
Not only, we all know what we need to do day in and day out of our lives to achieve anything, not just physical peak performance.
Exactly. So you need to eat less. You need to work out hard.
Yeah.
You need to control what you're doing.
But why is it so difficult, and why are we so quick to use excuses to explain everything that we don't have?
I don't know, but my wife is getting pissed off with me.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. Is that how many more times is she going to hear your story and not believe you?
Yeah, and that's really a problem for me. And
how does it make you feel? Like talk kind of like from an emotional standpoint. How does it make you feel in that situation?
I mean, on the 6th of Jan, we're together 10 years, right? Yeah. And that's the same.
That like coincided with the 6-pack. At least she loves you for who you are.
Yeah, I mean, and she, I always gave the excuse of, oh, she's a patisserie chef and that's why I eat too many sweets and whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it's just an excuse. Yeah. Right? And it's down to me to sort this out. And she hasn't really known me in peak performance. And that really annoys me. And that also brings me to the 4 or 5 failed attempts. If you have been in my teams or if you've been part of my corporate life or whatever, I don't really hide. I put it out on the table and then I failed a couple of times. Yeah. And that really doesn't sit right with me. And I need to find a way to get back to...
But why do you fail? Do you reach like a breaking point? Or
so
you
with
just
me,
get fed up?
Yeah, I came to Dubai, I was 92 kilos, right? I'm 5'11". 92 kilos is pretty heavy, right? Yeah. And so I worked out, I controlled myself for a bit. I got to about 85 kilos, which still means I have a gut, but it's not as bad anymore.
Well, how much do you weigh right now?
87, 88.
Okay.
Right? So it's not the worst, but it's still, I'm floating.
Yeah.
Right? I'm working out a bit, but there's no real goal. There's nothing that is behind it. And so I've gone between 92 and 85 4 or 5 times, and I track it on my FitnessPal app, right?
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. And I'm at a point where I don't want to fail anymore. I don't want to keep having this excuse of, I used to be in shape and I'm not in shape anymore. And it's because I have kids or, whatever other excuse I come up with.
The numerous different excuses.
Numerous excuses why I can't achieve what I want to achieve. And for all the people that have come into my life for the last 10 years and for all the people out there that are struggling with the same kind of thing, right? Because you go through life in stages. Yeah, now I'm a dad, I've got kids. You need to prioritize your time a lot more.
You have to work. I have to work more because I need to have enough money for their security. I slip a meal, which I shouldn't do because the kids stayed up a bit later than they should have.
So many excuses, right? All that it sounds like are excuses. And it cannot be that when you get to this kind of age that you just give up, right? I'm not giving up in other parts of my life. So why have I just let myself go so much over 10 years? And it's not, I feel like in my gut is where the problems kind of sit, right?
It's so true though. I agree with you on that.
If I'm stressed, I eat.
Yeah.
Right? And I eat too much. Comfort food, right? Or it's just habit. I've been, whenever I sit in front of the TV, when I was like a teenager, my parents would always have snacks there, whether it's nuts or Pringles or whatever. I'll just be consuming and not even thinking about it. But that habit is really deep inside of me. It's 20 years of habit, right? And I need to break that habit. I need to break and control how much I eat. And that's something that I want to attempt.
Yeah.
And so that's really important to me.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, I was pretty inspired when you came to me and said, like, dude, we're going to do this challenge, and I'm going to, within what's the challenge, 3 months?
So let's introduce it properly.
Yeah, tell them, come on, spill the beans.
Spill the beans. Yeah, I'm so annoyed that I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve 4 or 5 times, that I need to trick my brain into something to really not leave any doubt on the table. This time, I'm going to put basically everything that I have in savings right now, $50,000 on the table to get that six-pack in 3 months.
$50,000 wired to my bank account as custodian of that amount of money to ensure that you get.
There's no way that I'm going to give you $50,000 for free.
I know, man.
So
this is going to be interesting.
You're not going to buy yourself another watch or another car or whatever. I'm going to get that money back. And it's kind of like loss aversion, right? I don't want to lose something that I worked so hard to get.
Of course.
And just let it go. And I know how my brain works. And I really hope that that helps me just do it.
Well, I mean, both of us on numerous occasions when we speak to each other, you got to put everything on the line. And that's really a testament of putting everything on the line. If you take all your savings.
I'm going to literally put everything on the line. And I can't afford to lose that money. I bought my mom a house. I need that money to finance the house. So I'm literally putting everything on the line, and I cannot afford to lose it. I'm going to do everything that I can. And I'm, no more excuses, no trainer, no diet plan, no nothing.
You know what you need to do. You just need to execute.
It's very easy what we need to do. I need to eat at about 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. You need to burn about 700 to 1,000 calories to stay in a negative. You need to stay the course for 90 days.
Yeah.
Right? And you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And then it becomes interesting what happens when I get to that 85 kilos kind of range and whether I give up again or not.
And why do you think, besides the money, like, have you thought about mentally what kind of things you need to keep in perspective or in frame in order not to give up? Like, why is it that you give up at the end?
I need to make it
in the past 4 or 5 times.
I need to make it a priority. I can't, just have it as one of my goals. This needs to be a priority.
And goal, Q1.
Yeah, and for me, this symbolizes a lot more. As I said, I think I'm carrying my problems in my gut.
Yeah.
I want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I want to get rid of all the things that are holding me back, literally.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to be the guy that goes to the beach and sees other people in great shape, and I'm the guy that has 2 kids and just sits there and has a dad bod. Like, I don't want to be that guy anymore, right?
I completely agree.
I want to be where I used to be and stop talking about what used to be, right? That fact alone, that when I introduce myself, I talk about the past, that's so bad. Like, it almost sounds like I've retired, right? And given up. And I don't want that anymore. I want to, when you look at me, it should, with no
tell the story
questions.
Itself. There
Exactly.
doesn't need to be a background to the story. Or
exactly.
Like that.
And everyone knows how hard it is to get. And that's why it's something that, we talked in a different episode about, material things and how I'm not really chasing any material kind of things.
Yeah.
But this is something that I really chase. This is something that I think should represent me. And I want this to represent me. So I'm going to do everything to get it again. And I think you have never had it, right?
No.
You have never had a 6-pack. So for you, it must be like utopia. Like, how the hell am I going to get there? Even though you're working out 4 or 5 times a week.
I literally can't wrap my head around it, how it would be or what
exactly.
It would feel
But
like. I've been close, but just no cigar ever.
But, if someone told you need to put everything on the line and work as hard as you can for 90 days and you're going to have a 6-pack at the end, a lot of people would do it.
Yeah.
Right? But staying the course and actually doing it.
But also the question is, why does somebody else have to tell you that? Why can't you just tell yourself? And I think this is the most important part of this discussion around excuses and also this challenge, is that why are so many of us waiting for somebody else to tell us what to do when we know what we have to do? Why do we have to read 1 million books? Why do we? I mean, I'm guilty of it. I read so many books around all different things, which are helpful. But at the end of the day, we all know what you need to be thinking. Positive thoughts. You need to eat well. You need to be hydrated. You need to exercise, etc. sleep. Yeah, all those things are so, but yet everybody skips and excuses around and ends up not getting what they want.
Yeah. And that's not just in the, with your physique, but that's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you as rich as you want to be?
Yeah, I have no excuse. I'm the one who's making excuses.
Exactly. We're the ones that are making excuses.
Yeah.
Why are we not chasing our dreams? I mean, this podcast is called No Money But Dreams.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Well, I think that we've identified that we need to stop making all these different excuses and take full control and actually do the hard work and do the legwork that needs to be done in order to achieve.
and when I came to you and said, I want to do this challenge, it was all about, this is the first step, right? You can't attempt to really go for it if you're not even in good shape.
No.
Right? And for me, that really brings down why I need to start with this now.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound cliche because it's going to be the first 3 months of the next year and everyone comes with their New Year's resolutions and stuff. But for me, this is a journey that the next step of our journey together, where I have to prove to you that I can do whatever I set my mind to do.
Yeah.
Right? And that's proving it to myself as well, because I've seen this before. I've had this success before, but it kind of came as a side product. I used to have a six-pack because I used to, if you train every single day for 2 hours and you burn 1,500 calories, you can eat whatever the hell you want. You're not going to gain anything.
Yeah.
And you're much younger in life, right?
Yeah.
But now it is actually a challenge to get back there. And I want to prove to myself that I've got it in me. And whatever I set my mind to, it is much bigger than just the shape that I want to get to. For me, it's that I can do anything that I put my mind to.
Yeah.
Right? And if I can prove that to myself, that sets me up for all the other challenges in all the other spectrum of our lives after that.
Definitely. And I think it'll also start the new year off on the right note and see where it takes us. But I'm with you 100%. And I'm super hyped and pumped to do the challenge with you. Obviously, I don't have as much on the line as you do, but I hope you will inspire me to keep on going. But no, enough is enough, man. Why keep talking about things? Let's just go out and do it, man.
Exactly. And I mean, I want to inspire the same as we talked in the Be a Leader episode of a leader needs to inspire, right? I mean, what I represent as a dad with 2 kids, there's so many people that can relate to this that have kind of lost their way with their own kind of physique. And we can keep making excuses, because of kids and we're busy at work and all these different kind of things. Or you can just say, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough of these excuses, and we just go out and change the direction of your life.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want to live the rest of my 30s and say, I'm in peak shape.
Peak physical condition.
And I'm going after my dreams.
Yeah.
Right? So talking about and making a few episodes here is all nice and good, but at the end of the day, we got to put our money where our mouth is.
Stage one is accountability, man. And then if we're putting it out to everybody here who's watching us, then I know it's going to be pretty difficult for you not to deliver.
I mean,
$50,000 on the line.
$50,000 is one thing, right? But putting it out there and saying like...
Yeah, I know, especially when, we've been doing this not that long, right, so far, and having the guts to just lay it out on the ground in front of everyone to say is definitely some way of being accountable, that's for sure.
There's no place to hide, right?
No.
I'm not gonna just come here on this podcast and give you a little bit of updates. We're gonna film this
vlog
style, whatever it has to be, and I know that I'm gonna die.
Wait, I can just see that on YouTube. C-level dad bod executive pledges $50,000 to get a six-pack.
Yeah, that's not really the reason why we're doing this, but for me, what is important is that I hold myself accountable. And what that means is I don't have a problem with people seeing me die in workouts. I will die.
I'll take great pleasure in seeing that.
Yeah, and I will die. Man, I used to work out. See? Here we go again.
Yeah. Dude, you don't know me, man. I used to work... I used to.
Yeah, whatever. I used to throw up and continue. And I know that I can push myself. And I haven't proven this to a lot of people and not to myself for a long time. And enough is enough. So for me, this is proving to myself on camera, putting myself out there that I can achieve anything that I want. And that's what I want to look back at the end of Q1 next year. That I said, look, I did this, right? I was in bad performance for 10 years. I didn't achieve it. And then I put my mind to
turn
it,
it around, yeah.
and I turned it around. And yes, the money thing is an interesting aspect to it, because I'm definitely not losing that money, right? I've said this a couple of times. I'm on camera. I'm definitely not losing the $50,000. But the other thing is, after that, we're just going to have so much energy to do so many different things,
Yeah.
and nothing can stop us.
Yeah, we will have made that commitment to ourselves that if we can do this, then anything is possible.
What would it mean to you to actually have a six-pack?
I mean, I can't even wrap my head around it, to be honest with you. I don't even know. I probably wouldn't even recognize myself in a mirror or anything like that. But I feel that I have always, since I can remember, I mean, many times I gave up, to be honest with you. Then many times when I was younger, obviously I was thinking, oh, I can get a six-pack, let me try, or at least get down to being that lean. And I always just settled that I would never be able to have one. So if I do when I do actually have one, I think I'm going to be super proud of myself, man. And super proud to the fact that, and be a testament that if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it no matter what it is. And I think that the validation that you will have when you promise because I do believe in two sides. You have like the conscious and subconscious, you know what I mean? And they call it the subconscious, the inner child. And the conscious makes promises to the inner child. So if your conscious makes a promise to the inner child and then you actually don't deliver on it, your subconscious gets let down, and in the end is just like whatever, which is what kind of happened to you 4 times in a row. But that doesn't mean that you can't change it. That doesn't mean that just because you're on this course, you can't deviate to be on a higher level. You know what I mean? And we're going to prove that. We're going to prove it.
We're going to prove it, and that's with everything in life, right?
Yeah. We're going to prove it in Q1 with this, and Q2, Q3, Q4, we'll figure out what we're going to prove.
Exactly.
But the fact, thank you guys, obviously, for watching and keeping us accountable. And I think that we're going to be able to achieve some really exciting things together based on this, man.
Yeah, that's going to be super exciting. And I want everyone that listened so far to go away and think, what are they going to do in 2022?
Yeah. What are your plans?
How are you going to stop your excuses?
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to stop making excuses?
I think first, write down, take 1 week or 2 weeks and have a little notebook and write down every single excuse that you give, and then go through it and figure out how you're going to stop at least 50% of those in the new year.
Yeah, get rid of your excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're going to do. That's what we have, that's the first thing. That's the first
Step
bracket
1, yeah.
that needs to happen. But we just need to get rid of our excuses and believe in yourself that you can achieve anything.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that goes away so much when you become an adult. As a kid, there's not even a question whether you're going to achieve something or not. You're just going for it.
I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
You ask a kid, what do you want to be? No matter what, I'm going to be an astronaut. What are you talking about? They don't even think about anything else. And as you get older and you turn into an adult, again, when you've promised yourself something or things don't necessarily go as you had planned them to go, the job wasn't as great or this
you
or
make
that.
excuses.
Yeah, you make more excuses.
Instead of being accountable to yourself,
100%.
you make excuses.
Yeah.
And I've done this over a 10-year period now, and it's enough. Like, we have to change something. Otherwise, how can I look into, like, the worst thing was my daughter came to me and put her hands on my stomach. And she said, this needs to go. Like, why do you have a stomach? She didn't say it in that way, right? But she said, like, why do you have a stomach like this? She doesn't know what a six-pack is or anything like this, right? She
will know.
She just drums on it, on my stomach, and thinks it's funny. But to me, it's like, I never want to be like this. I used to give my dad so much shit for not being in shape when I was a teenager. And now I'm turning into this.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm literally that guy that isn't in good shape. And I don't want that.
It's not time to change it, man.
Time to change it, time to go out and really chase your dreams. And this is the first one that we're going to chase together.
Sure, definitely.
And there's going to be some funny stuff that is going to come out of this.
That's for sure. A lot of really, really exciting, funny content.
Yeah, you're gonna learn to look at me in a completely different way, because you have never seen me like this. You have never seen me. Yeah, relentless workout like this. I know we had a couple of workouts together in LA, like in the morning at 6 a.m. and that was good. We can definitely live together, but I think here there's some demons and some challenges that we need to face that are on a completely different level, because a six pack is not just, oh, work out 3 times a week and you're going to get it.
No.
Right? That's pushing it to a completely
It's
different
weights,
level.
cardio, food, everything.
Yeah. And the food is what most people can't see, right? That's not showing up at the gym 1 hour a day, and that's
And
fine.
probably the hardest part, honestly.
And for me, food is my vice. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have any of these kind of things, but I love to eat.
Yeah.
I love snacks, I love chocolate, I love food, and I can just go on and on and on, right? And I kind of justify it to myself that because I don't do the other things, it's fine for me to do this.
Yeah.
And that's what has led to so many of my problems. So I got to really control this. And my plan is not to eat after 6 p.m. I know there's all this intermittent fasting and all these different kind of things. I want to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Not going to eat after 6 p.m., right? And just control the portion size, which is the funny thing is my wife keeps telling me this, man. Portion size is all about portion size and things in moderation. And I always just, not really listen to it. And that's what gets me in trouble. And the other thing is make sure that I have enough healthy snacks or healthy food around in the house. Because when I don't have this, then I start making bad decisions. I start going and ordering food or doing things which are ad hoc instead of a planned kind of approach. So I'm going to make sure that, I plan my meals. I don't eat too late. I make sure that I don't eat too much. I burn enough to stay in a deficit, and then just go for it for 90 days.
And that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Well, you guys heard it.
It's on the line.
It's on the line.
I'm putting myself on the line, trying to achieve something that I haven't achieved in 10 years. And I would love for you to be part of the journey. And I want to see whether this guy has it in him to follow and to also get a six pack.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for staying till the end. We're really, really excited for this challenge and also super passionate about this concept of excuses and how to stop
No
more excuses, guys.
No more excuses.
2022, no more excuses.
No more excuses.
Be safe and take care. Peace.
Peace.